Hi, our guest today is Paul Pellegrini, who's one of the two candidates running for the three-year Park Commission seat in the April 5th 10 election. Welcome, Paul.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
So our first and most obvious question is, why are you running?
You would probably think it's the simplest answer, but it's, I guess the main reason for running is my passion that I have for kids in athletics. I've been playing athletics my whole life. I've been kind of coaching it my whole life. Actually, believe it or not, one of my first jobs in high school was for Mike Brashani, the park director, working for the Parks Department in high school. So I won't tell Mike that was over 25 years ago, but so I guess that my major drive, what really started was my love for sports and kids. I currently am the Milford High baseball coach. I've been coaching there for 14 years. I'm the president of the Milford Youth Girls Softball League. I'm on the Milford baseball board. So I'm kind of surrounded by sports, and this started even before I had kids. I got a five-year-old son, Santino, and my daughter, Kay, is 9. Kay's already a pretty athletic girl. So I know it's a passion of just being around, and I care. I really care about the town of Milford and the way we look. And
Now, how many terms have you already served?
just one.
Okay, so you're going for a second
Yeah.
three-year term.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that are in the planning for the parks?
There are a few items that are on our agenda, and I think probably one of the major ones is going to be the renovation of Town Park. Town Park is a pretty setup, but all the equipment there, like the fencing and things like that, they're very dated, and they're soon to become unsafe. A lot of the tennis courts are rusting, they're fading. The basketball court's it's in pretty good shape, but we'd like to add another basketball court. Milford's kind of a basketball town. We don't have too many setups where kids can just go and walk to a park and play some basketball. Our baseball fields over there and softball fields are in pretty good shape, but they need to be surrounded by things that make it look better, all the aesthetics that go with it, such as new fencing. They have a building over there that has 2 bathrooms, a men and a woman's bathroom. The Milford Softball Board has kindly donated new doors, which have been a huge issue over there. They're going to be the outside real stainless steel doors, and we're going to have a company come in and replace those and kind of fix it up a little bit. So that's really the major thing going forward. As of right now, we're looking to do that to a lot of the parks, such as Tomaso Field. A lot of them are just dated. We have some beautiful parks here, and we want to make them all beautiful. But it takes time, it takes a little bit of money, a little bit of patience, so we kind of got it on what's a need first basis, So I guess if you had to ask, it's definitely Town Park. It's kind of the cornerstone of Milford.
It's probably the most multi-use field you have.
It really
outside
is,
of the high school, the new high school field.
Right.
I'm surprised at the number of activities I see there in a given week.
Yeah, it's
band concerts in the summer, sports.
Yeah. So we really, since it is such a focal point, I think it's really come onto our, it's really come onto our agenda to really, we need to move this forward as fast as we can and make it happen. So
if you had a magic wand, that's the first place that you'd touch?
Absolutely. Just think about how many people drive by it every day. All the kids going to Stacy Middle School, Memorial School, Brookside School. You can't pass it without seeing it. So, and the activity, and like you said, the activity that just goes on there. It's about 11 to 12 acres of land, of all playable land, and useful land. Whether, like you said, whether it's for sports or band concerts.
And usually, I have to tell you, in the summer, you drive by in the evening when the sundown is after around 8, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
There are people there right until then.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've never seen it empty.
No, and that's a good thing. And that's what we kind of take pride in. I mean, people want to play there. They want to go there. They want to entertain there. So And if we made it a little bit better looking, they'd want to do it a little bit more, I think, so.
Okay.
Anything else you'd want to do?
Anything else I'd want to do? I just want to make all the fields look good. I want to improve all the fields. If the town came and gave us $1 million, we probably could do it.
All right.
But
That's not going to
so
happen.
that's not today. But you know,
Well, you did get a question from a 10-year-old at the Citizens for
Yeah,
Milford
we don't want
Candidates
to
Forum about, could you put some, I think he said 10-year-old stuff
yeah,
at Town Park?
yeah. So, like you said, we try to make it friendly for everybody. I
Yeah.
know there should be a new little playground going in at the memorial school that's on the memorial school agenda. But the way they fitted the new playground does have its ages from 5 to 12. It's not expansive, but it serves the purpose of I mean, if you drive, the first day we had 2 weeks ago, it was like 70 degrees. I mean, they had to take tickets to get into the park. So
Oh, really?
it was packed. So, yeah, that was a cute little question for that kid. He should join the board soon. We could use his help with his ideas, that's for sure.
I think that's what Scott Vecchiola, the school committee candidate, said, why aren't you up here?
Right,
Yeah, meeting on the podium with the candidates.
right.
But sharp little kid, so.
He is a sharp kid.
I like that. I think he upstaged all the candidates because he asked 3 questions during that debate.
Yeah.
But,
Right.
but you satisfied with the condition of the other places? Like, is there talk of redoing Pheno Field? Or
There is, so that's a major project that is going to happen. We got some money from the state. There's various departments, sometimes they take it from one faction, give it to another. That was spearheaded actually was started a while ago by Brian Murray, kind of got the wheels in motion, then John Fernandez recently kind of really made it happen. So we have some money allotted to redo that. Obviously, I take, being the baseball coach, I take a lot of pride in that, but it's the history that Pheno Field really carries. Milford's really, truly a baseball town, and it's kind of a field we kind of let get away.
well, you got the new lights in about what now? It's probably 5 years ago
Well, at
already.
least 5 years ago, yeah, which was big. I mean, if you ever played a night game there, even a simple pop-up, you'd lose it. So, that was a good start. One of the other things you got to remember, that's also the home of the Parks Department,
Right.
which is not really a home. It's a place to store things, but it's really, when you walk in, when you're an opposing team and you walk in and see, you get 4 big canisters there that are storing items, it's really not ideal. So that's another thing that we're working with.
To get a
members of
real
the-
steel building or something in there that,
Yeah, we're looking into that. We do have a spot for it. We have a couple options. Hopefully that happens sooner than later. We've really been working with the finance committee and other groups in town to kind of really make that happen. So we do have a few places in mind. One looks like a reality for the time being. And
Yeah, the finance committee's socking away money every year for, quote, new field.
They are.
unquote.
So, things change, certain things pop up, so they've been very good, they're very supportive. And like you say, if you don't ask, you're not going to get, so we try to ask Al for as much as possible, and if we get anything back, we're happy with it. But Al's been real good. This was kind of his idea
Referring to
do
Al
this.
Crier.
Al Crier, yeah.
Al Crier, sorry. So it's a very, very, very good start. So hopefully this relationship keeps building. And like I say, I mean, if you don't invest, you got to invest. You invest in your parks, it's investing in your kids, it's investing in the community.
Yeah, oftentimes people build something and then they never put a dime of maintenance into it. And,
Right.
30 years later, you rebuild it again.
Right.
And sometimes it's easier to just keep things going.
Yeah.
But you actually have a very large portfolio of things that your board covers.
Yeah, we do.
what are all the things you cover?
You're talking about fields and trails and memorials and
Yeah, because I know just
Yeah.
down at the Plains Park, you have all of that.
yeah,
And you finally got your parking lot back now that they finished dredging the pond.
right.
But you have, what, 2 fields there or 3?
Yeah, so there's 5 fields there within the whole area, baseball and softball fields. So we have Inglese Field and Rosenfeld Field, which are the majority for the Little League fields, which is another thing. We're going to be helping out the the Milford Youth Baseball Board with. We're going to help renovate that. So they got the wheels in motion. They got some money to do that.
Okay.
We really have some good ideas down there to kind of revitalize that. Plains Park, as you know, 2 years ago, we kind of, well, as you well know, it's an old dump. So
Right, and it was
at
settled.
that time, everything settled. So
Right, so you closed it for a year to
closed it for a little bit over a
filled in
year. Filled in the
depressions.
gaps, the spots, kind of, regraded it a little bit, to the best of, that we could and to code. So that field up there, it's a beautiful complex. It really is. And you really don't know until you kind of really walk the whole track. There's 2 playgrounds up there. You would never know. They're beautiful playgrounds. The fields themselves, they're used constantly by soccer, lacrosse, softball. As you know, the bandstand up there is constantly used during the summer for all types of shows. It's just it's a nice asset for the town. It really
Great place
is.
to watch the fireworks from.
Yeah, it truly is. So we take a lot of pride in the parks, and one of the things that kind of verifies that is, obviously with the new high school now, we hosted the Division II state, Division II and Division III soccer tournaments. We've also held the state youth football tournaments. Pheno Field, every year we host the Division III and IV state
I was
tournaments.
going to say, yeah, on the other
Yeah.
side of the pond, you then have the Pheno Field complex.
Yeah. So
Including Pheno Field, Vertolato Field,
Yep.
the pool.
yeah, oh yeah.
That's
The
quite
Pheno
sizable.
Annex. So, yeah. So getting back to all the services that that we provide and the land, we have over about 100 acres of mowable land.
Wow.
So we do the police station. We do the police station. We do all the memorials in town. We do the town pool. They just
There's
go
a
on
lot
and
of
on.
land there.
We have some land at the old Plains, right across from Oliva's Market. And there's little places all over town that we cover all. We mow all the schools in town. So you really don't see a department like that run like that, I guess, where you would have like over in Hopkinton, they have their own school.
Yeah,
They
most
have their
most
own-
schools
most
have their own
schools have their
maintenance
own
department.
maintenance. And we do all of this with 5 full-time people.
And now you're
So-
doing the trail as well, the bike trail.
Yeah, we picked up 6.2 on one side, 6.2 on the other. But we've got a lot of help with that.
From the friends and.
There's a bunch of the friends of the trail, and they're just it was easy to take that on with the help you were getting from them and the
Yeah.
help the community gives to you for that. So
Well, now the baseball field over by the swimming pool, not Pheno, the other one.
Vadalato, yeah.
Vadalato. You gonna do some work over there?
We did actually.
Oh, okay,
We-
because that used to be a terrible field.
It's actually a great field if you haven't been down there. So what we did a couple of years back is we put grass in the infield.
There you go.
Now, and it's truly a good park. The only problem we have sometimes is it's literally on top of water. So it does stay a little bit wet longer,
Yeah.
but I'll tell you, the grass comes in beautiful down
Yeah.
there.
They used to
It's-
have a gravel infield. or-
It's still got some gravel in
Well,
it. It's
it's-
more stone dust than gravel, but the grass actually complemented that. It's more dirt now than it is anything else. And that's another park with the help of Milford Baseball. We're looking to kind of revitalize a little bit, kind of fix up around, make some pitching areas, put a batting
Yeah,
cage in.
batting cage, yeah.
So
Now, how many 90-foot diamonds do you have on there?
we have 4.
4.
There is one at
Pheno.
Plains Park.
Yeah,
Then we have Pheno, Town
Pheno.
Park, and Vadalato.
Vadalato.
So and what a lot of people don't know, Milford, we're one of the few towns that have that. We're not a big town, we're not a small town either, but every team in the league, they don't have 3 fields where you can send a freshman team, a JV team, and a
Right.
varsity team all on the same day. You have
Right.
3 fields down there? Yeah. Why don't you come on, bring the whole gang. We'll
Bring them all
play
down,
'em all.
right, right,
Yeah, and they'll all be ready.
right,
So
right, yep. I've umpired at every one of those fields.
yeah, some fans are closer to you than others.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Okay.
oh yeah.
Now, do you guys also take care of Draper Memorial Park?
We do.
Okay. Now, this year you had the Citizens for Milford got a tree donated, put it up and lit it. And I know was a lot of talk during the campaign cycle about putting up the lights.
Yep.
I remember the wooden soldiers and the lights from,
Yeah.
20 years ago, 30 years ago, which are, probably long decayed somewhere.
Yeah, I
But,
don't know if we can find them.
Does that fall under the Park Commission's jurisdiction?
It does. So What the commission does, we vote on, we vote on articles such as, not articles, but we vote on things like that. They'll come up at our meetings.
Right, if somebody
Yeah.
wants to do it.
So let's say somebody wanted to put, I don't know, whatever type of, holiday
Right.
symbol on that thing, they would have to come in front of us.
Okay, well, you do the
So
crush every
sometimes it's
year,
a
you do
touch-
the menorah lighting every
yeah,
year, so.
yeah. So it's not an issue, but what happens is sometimes where they see one group doing it, other groups might want to do it. So sometimes we tread, we tread caution a little bit around
Right.
areas like that. But the lighting of the park is definitely something that needs to be done. It just shows spirit. It really does. It's a symbol of your community. It's what it represents. So we had somebody come down, ran the electrical line, put it in all for no cost. He's going to come back. He's going to give. He's going to do a whole estimate of what it would cost to get the lights up that ran to every tree, which they used to have, but all the wires were cut and they were all disconnected.
Well, I also remember a lot of those, the lighting just rotted out over time.
Yeah, because it just, it's the winter, right? It's Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Well, it
the
also
weather.
used to be stored in one of the vacant upper floors in one of the downtown Milford buildings, and I remember going in there and just seeing the stuff
There
lying
it is,
there.
just lying down, right? So hopefully, here's where committees in Milford work. So we're probably gonna, and hopefully I can be involved in that as a representative from the parks and kind of spearhead that with the citizens of Milford. I know we've talked about it. It's definitely on the radar, and I think it's something that can be done with the help of people within the community. So I think if we put a little committee together and we kind of ask for some help, and you know how the people from Milford, they always rise to the occasion, so, and get some help.
No, I
and-
mean, 2 years ago, they got on the light poles, they got the lighting back and the banners that changed through the seasons now.
Yeah, yeah,
And that was done with a little bit of money from the
Yeah.
selectmen, and
yeah.
a private committee got
All you
that
do is
going.
ask
and-
sometimes, and it happens, so.
Yeah,
I can't say whether I see that being an issue or not. From my end, and I know we've talked about it on the board, it's not an issue with us. It's a matter of getting the help. Like I said, we have 5 full-time guys, and our job's really not hanging lights. It's not a profession that we have, but we'll be more than happy to help you out. So hopefully there is a group that is formed, and we get that done, because I think it'll be really special. We got it started, so usually sometimes when you get it started, it really helps. So, and you see the people that really care and that want to get it done. So
They show up.
I think the people that
I
are
think-
really pushing this will make it happen. So.
Yeah, I think people often don't realize, they'll say, well, it used to be there, and I think this group did it, or that group did it. I think they don't realize each generation, you need a new group to
Changes a little
volunteer
bit.
to do it.
That's right. That's right. So I'm here to help. That's for sure. So
Yeah.
and to help make it happen. So.
Are there any community groups that you want to reach out to?
It could be anybody. I mean, anybody that, whether it be the Boy Scouts, whether it's, like again,
Yeah.
like the citizens from Milford, it's all for a good cause. There's no hidden agenda with the lighting the park, that's for sure. So anybody who would like to offer, it's, let's sit down, let's talk about it, let's get it done.
Anything coming up in the near future that's,
I don't think anything major that we have. Like I said, the near future thing, I hope is the near future is the town park.
What are we talking about, within a year, 2 years?
I'm hoping within 2 years, things might change a little bit where we can shift something from one end and let's get this done first. And it's really, I think, is becoming a hot topic. I mean, let's face it, it's probably the most, like you say, universal park in Milford.
centrally located?
It's centrally located.
I think
and
it's
there's
centrally
many
located,
different-
everybody sees it.
Right, like there's no tennis courts at Plains Park, right? I mean, so that's used for tennis. There's no bandstand. They have the nice area there, but there's no bandstand for
You
music.
have
there.
I call it
There's
the
a
pavilion,
yeah,
the
the
gazebo
pavilion.
pavilion, whatever you want to
So,
call it.
There's a softball field there. There's a baseball field there. So,
But the only tennis courts I know over at Town Park and the high
court.
school, so,
Right,
and basketball, so,
right. So,
yeah.
where it's used by so many different groups, I think that would be the most major.
You're also going to have the
precedent.
farmer's market using,
Yeah.
close to it this
That's
summer.
okay. That's right. Good.
Well, that's, because it's called Town
Right.
Park. You would think that would be the focal point anyway. It's a town park.
Right.
and it's centrally located, so, and a lot, as you say, a lot of people use
You know, actually, when you look at it, and you look at before the suburbs or the outskirts
Yeah.
developed from the core downtown area, if you go back 100 years or, you know, before World War II, that was you had the Stacy School and the Memorial School, that whole area was the central focus for the schools.
Right, right.
And the parks.
Right.
And it was very centrally located, and everybody walked in those days,
Yeah.
so, you know, it looked, you gotta credit people for laying out the town that way.
Right.
Somebody had some foresight.
Yeah, they really did.
I know in the town I grew up in New Jersey, you had what was the high school, now it's the junior high. On the main drag in town, directly across the street was what we call the oval, was the football field. And then they eventually on the other side of that built the new high school.
Right.
But it was at least, you know, very well laid out right in the center of town, and was a focal point for, you know, Saturday afternoons in the fall, and, you know,
Well, they
for
did
football.
that, they did that because it was a short distance to ride your horse to school, you know.
True.
And it was easy to pass out the slate tablets for you.
We like to kid each other. But no. So let's talk about the high school team for a minute.
Yeah.
You said practice just started, so how are things going?
Yeah, going pretty well, actually. Tim was down there today, got a little preview of what was going on. I'm excited. We return a few very good players, and then we return a bunch of good players. So we're going to be young. I have actually 29 kids trying out for the team, which is a lot. So some cuts will have to be made, unfortunately. But it's nice to see that a lot of kids still have the interest for baseball.
Most people don't realize that Blackstone Valley, this area was a really big baseball area.
Right, oh yeah.
In the years past.
Yeah.
I mean,
And you're talking the 1920s.
oh,
on up.
all the professional ball players used to play out here.
Right.
On the factory teams.
Oh, yeah.
And you had some tremendous ball fields that have since fallen in disrepair in Blackstone Valley. There used to be a big ball field in Upton. There was one out in Uxbridge. I mean, there's some really big, beautiful ball fields that have fallen in
And
disrepair.
Fino Field's been around for how many years? 60, 70?
Oh, at least.
Probably, I know it was that at one time was an old dump too, by the way. So
Yeah.
I got to say probably 70 years.
I was going to say around late 40s,
Yeah,
early
I'd probably say
50s.
70 years now. So
But this is a big
yeah.
baseball area.
yeah,
And then, of course, Legion Ball.
yes. Oh, geez, absolutely. yeah,
I mean, that's huge here.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So we're looking to make a little splash this year. So I got a sophomore on the team, Aiden Wild, led the league in hitting as a freshman. He was 4th in the state last year. He's the real deal. And we got another kid, Blake Hill, a very good football player here at Milford, only a junior. That's been batting 4th for me since he was a freshman. So you got a couple guys like that in the middle of the lineup is going to make everyone around you a little bit better.
Have some good pitchers.
Yeah, we got some pitchers. We got a lot of arms. We got Zach Lanzetta, who's back. He did not play last year, but he was a quarterback for the football team this year. Broke every passing record Milford High has. One of my captains, Alex Masick, Jr., saw a lot of time for me last year. And then again, Aiden and Blake. We're gonna be pretty strong. I'm pretty confident about it. We're very athletic, very fast, which is the type of team that I like.
well, this is the part of the show as we're near the end where we offer you a free commercial. So here's your chance to say, to say, okay, voters of Milford, why should they re-elect Paul Pellegrini to the Park Commission?
Well, it's very simple, and I care. I get it. I care, and I'm very hands-on. So I work at Oliva's Market on the weekends. That's when Nikki likes me. So I have. It's not too busy on the weekends, right? So I'm around every day, and I have a great working relationship with Mike Brashani, the director. I'm like another set of eyes out there. I'm very hands-on. I hit the ground running. Like I said, my kids are only 5. My little guy Santino's only 5 years old. My daughter's 9. I'm going to be around the parks for a long, long time. My kids are pretty athletic. I hope. Yeah, it looks like it. We got a good start. So, and I guess the main reason, I'm super dedicated to the town of Milford. I do a lot of volunteering at the schools. I'm on 3 school councils, the Woodland School Council, Shining Star Council, and the Brookside Council.
I was going to say, when do you have time for you?
When I get home from Nikki's. So it's, you know, I'm active, but I enjoy it, but everything I'm active about is all eventually revolves around the kids in the parks. So, April 5th, dot my name on the ballot, please. It's worth it. I think it is. I mean, you got someone who cares, and I'm not going anywhere. I live in Milford. My wife's a lifelong resident. I moved here 28 years ago, and I could have moved to a better place. So,
28 years. Where'd
Yeah.
you move from?
I moved from Watertown.
Ah,
Yeah. So, happened to move right across the street from my wife. So,
Is that how you met her?
that's exactly how I met her. Yeah, she was a year younger than I was, so I moved here in 9th grade. She was in 8th, so who knows if it would have happened. Eventually, it probably could have.
there you go. There you go.
So,
And now you're a conformed Milfordian.
that's probably an understatement if you ask the people who knew me around here. So.
Well, that's not a
Okay.
bad thing. That's
It's
a
not
good
a
thing.
bad thing. If you don't see me with something right on with an M on my head every day and something M on my shirt, then you know this is probably the only time you'll catch me without it. So.
Well, I would guess that just a matter of fact that because you coach the baseball team, you're a big Milfordian.
I would say that's pretty accurate. Yeah.
Pretty good description.
I
of it.
changed my hats. I coach softball too. I coach soccer from time to time. So, but yeah,
Now, baseball's an American sport.
baseball is an absolute American sport.
That's right. Soccer's from some other country.
I just never played it.
Yeah, neither did I.
Yeah.
But you can outfit a soccer team pretty cheap. Sneakers and shorts, and you're off and running.
Baseball's a little expensive
Yeah.
nowadays.
Yeah, I remember my youngest son went out for lacrosse, and we're going down the equipment list, and I'm in the hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, it
Going like,
climbs right every year.
"Whoa."
The athletic fees and
Yeah.
everything else.
That
That's
was
a good thing about Milford. Milford's really, really, really cheap when it comes to athletic fees.
What is
So
the athletic fee?
It's $125 per student, but you're capped at $375 for a family, which is, if you go to other towns, and I won't mention surrounding towns.
No, you don't have to tell
They're
us. We know.
they're in the
He's
Well,
smoked enough from
Well,
it, we
they've
know.
just changed theirs
300
to
range.
175 now.
Yeah.
It used to be very high, but they
Yeah, so
reduced it.
Milford does a good job,
Yeah.
within the budget, and so everybody around there, whether it's the finance committee helping out with the school budget, that kind of alleviates some of the, some of the money that the parents might have to pay for.
Well,
fees.
I think sports are seen very much as a way of teaching kids about life, whether
Yeah,
it's teamwork or
absolutely.
leadership skills.
Yeah.
And I think they're very good for teaching
Winning and losing.
winning and losing. You actually
Yeah,
lose.
I don't teach how to lose. I try not
Well,
to.
yeah, but
But it's
you
an
don't get a
important lesson.
Yeah, of course it is.
but you don't get a trophy just for showing up. You
That's
actually have
right.
to earn it.
That's a nice thing about school sports,
Yeah.
especially at the high school
Yeah.
level.
But I think you learn how to get along with others and play as a team, and it's very similar to scouting and some other things I'm involved in
Yeah.
that the youth grew up learning,
Yeah.
a skill set you don't learn every day anymore.
Yeah.
Well, you could take a bunch of kids who are excellent, who are individual contributors, they don't have anything. But if you have guys who are good at it, but are a team and play as
Yeah.
a team, you got a better chance.
Absolutely,
Much better.
all day long.
Yeah.
I remember my youngest son was playing youth basketball, and he couldn't shoot at the height he was then. He couldn't shoot, but he could steal a ball like nobody and feed it to the kids who could shoot. And you're talking kids in maybe second, third grade.
Yeah.
And the coach came over one day and said, I'd rather have 10 players like your son who don't try to hog it, but who can contribute and have heart. He goes, your son knows he can't make the shot. I go, he's just too small.
Right.
He goes, but he feeds it to the kids who can. He says, that's the kid I want on my team.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're out of time, but we wish you luck on
Thank you.
April 5th.
Thank you.
And
And
thanks
good
for
luck.
stopping by.
Good luck.